So these are the items you would need to create the spider nest effect. This is Nose and Scar Wax by Ben Nye, the Death Wheel by Ben Nye. We also got the label-less Synwax by Mehron. Some spirit gum, which I think is Mehron as well. The The Bruise and Abrasion Wheel by Ben Nye. These are cream paints. And some brushes and a pen. So if you look here, I got the ones I made earlier. These are my spider eggs which I made from the Mehron Synwax. It's a really hard, plasticky, sticky kind of wax. I don't really like using it for things that you'd usually use the Ben knife for. So I thought it would be a good idea to use it. So I've got a small amount here. I'm rolling it up in a little ball in the palm of my hand. And you need quite a lot. So I've got quite a few there already in my little lids. And here it is again, if you missed it the first time. Just taking a small amount and rolling it into a little ball in the palm of my hand. So you got your little collection there. Oh no, I'm doing another one. Four examples of rolling some wax into a ball for you there. You want to make sure you got plenty because when we do the makeup, it'll be in 2 layers. So we got the spirit gum here by Mehron. I'm going to apply this in a ovally, almost like a lip shape because I want to see like it's bulging through the skin. You could draw on the outline first if you want to be accurate, but I was just happy just going in for it. And then you can see where it is. You want to wait till this dries a little bit, so when it starts to be tacky, then you can start to use it. So now I got my collection of little eggs and I'm blocking at the moment, but I'm adding layers to the spirit gum. And this is like your first layer of eggs. So you just want to cover that part of the skin you put spirit gum on. Leave a little bit around the outside, and that's where you'll eventually put in the Ben Nye. So I think I'm going to speed through this a little bit now because you get the idea. So now we've done our first layer of eggs. We're ready to build up the wound around it. So we're going to get some nose and scar wax and take a small amount, and we're going to use the palm of our hands to roll it into a sausage shape. You want this to be half the size of the layer of eggs that you've got. So you're going to have 2 halves that you're going to blend into the skin. So you have the 1 half there. See, there's a little rim around the eggs where the spirit gum is, so we can stick the wax onto that then. I don't want my edges to be smooth, so on this side that I'm not going to blend with the skin, I'm going to pinch them a little bit. So I got a bit of texture already before I blend it in. So I was pinching one side and then lining it up. And then blend it in just using my fingertips. Scar wax can get quite sticky. If you want to put a bit of Vaseline or moisturize on your fingertips, it can make it easier to blend. Now we're going to take the other half And do the same on the other side. Same again, I'm going to pinch it, get that rough edge, opposite to the one I'm going to blend in to get that bit of texture. And already you're starting to take shape now. We've got our first layer of eggs and our skin, textured skin, is forming the wound that the eggs are within. I'm just smoothing that out a bit more. I'm just using the end of a brush to take off any excess, help me blend it in a little bit more. You want it to be as smooth as possible. So I'm happy with that is at the moment. So I'm just going to take the end of the paintbrush and add a little bit more texture to the Ben 9 nose and scar wax around the edges, just to make it look a bit more nasty and a little bit more ruffled and decayed, like something's been eating through the flesh. Which you can kind of see behind my hand. So I'm going to start adding a bit of colour. I'm using a bit of the yellow from the death wheel just to colour the eggs a little bit, and then going in with the red from the abrasion wheel just to start adding some colour and a bit of depth around and behind the eggs. It doesn't matter if you get colour on, this is the underlay of the egg, so you want these ones to be like a bit grubby and a bit dirtier because they're the deeper eggs that are buried deep within the flesh. And I'm just adding some colour around. Make the skin look quite irritated. Obviously it's up to you what kind of colours you want to go for. I want to go for a bit of a, like a decay, like a bit of rot. So I'm working in some reds. I'm going to go with a bit of purple and a bit of green to then deaden the reds, and some like really pale from the death wheel, the really pale colours to kind of then wash out the colours again. And I'm going in back in with the dark colours from the abrasion wheel to add a bit more depth to the nest of eggs. I'm putting another layer of spirit gum on top of the eggs now that I've had the pre-paint. And while that dries, I'm going back in around the cut again with some darker red just to bring out the depth a bit more. You don't want to go too close to the edge, you want to keep that quite, so it looks quite elevated. And then going in with the purples again. I like the really mottled effect. I'm using cream colours, which work quite well on Ben Nye because I haven't sealed it with latex, but you can usually use the cream colours pretty well over the top. Here I'm just blending. Like the colours are really subtle, just blend in, get that mottled, light decay effect. Now the spirit gum's dried on top of the eggs, you can add the extra layer on top now. You can see the colour difference. So you kind of, well, it depends on what you want, but you want to you don't want to cover all the underlayer because you want to see that the yellows and the depth underneath. So I've added a few on top. And I'm going back over with that yellow from the abrasion wheel just to give them a bit of colour. I've got a really fine liner. You could stop here if you wanted to, but I like my effects quite dark, I guess. So I'm going in with a really fine liner and the purple from the death wheel just to add in some vein effects. Really, really light brush strokes with like little dark elements here and there to really make it like pop, but really subtle at the same time. I quite like how it looks here, but I decided to carry on, so adding some blood, so like the eggs have hatched and the spiders are crawling out, so I'm just adding little bits of blood in the deeper parts of the wound and a little bit coming out in and around the cut. Some little drips. And I'm just going to smudge in a little bit and take a little bit away because you don't want it to be too much. You don't want to miss out on all the detail. So you can see it's really, it is 3D. It's quite nasty, quite creepy. And I'm just going to quickly just draw in with a ballpoint pen just some little mini spiders running away from the nest.